pizza box graphic mock-up, where I'm going to show you step by step how to make a mock-up for a fake pizza box. So here's the content page, and you'll find it's number 1. And what you need to start with is the template. So you can find your own template, or you can use this one, which is already here. And on the web page, all you have to do is click and drag it out and drop it on your desktop. If you're on a mobile device, you can tap and save it to your photos or your files. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is we need to find some graphics. So you can make your own graphics. You can draw them on paper and take a picture. You could do some digital art and put that in. Or the easiest way, just to get a 3, just to get good, is to just find an image online. It's more about the placement and making the mock-up. So you can see here, I've already written something in there. And so your image could be of anything. Whatever you want. Here's a bunch of sleeping gorillas. This one looks fantastic. So when you're taking images, you want to make sure that they're a good size. So you always want to click on them here in the list view and then do the same thing as the template. Click and drag it and make sure it works. So if you're seeing the image on your desktop, that's awesome. If it says WebP like this one, then that's not going to work. So that's not going to open for you. So you can either take a screenshot if you really like that, or you could try a different one. Now, for some things that are copywritten, you can see there's a stamp on this one, but that's okay. We're not actually selling these. We're just doing this as an exercise. And so I'm going to give it a shot, grab this one. Oh yeah, we can see the picture on it. It's not a WebP, and so we're good. I'm going to use that specific photo. Now, the default app is Pixlr E. If you want to use another digital app, that's totally fine. This one's free, web-based, and it doesn't require any sign up. So if you click on Pixlr E, that's also linked in the content page. And then to start the project, all you have to do is grab your template, the actual box photo, and drop it in. Now this thing is set up. It's perfect. We've got one layer that's locked with the photo of the box, so that's perfect. We've got our tools over here as usual, and our modifiers over here. This is a simple project. The next step is just clicking and dragging the photo that you have, whether it's your own art or just a photo, and make sure you click on Add to Current. Then it's going to drop it in here. If you click Add to New, then it creates a new digital canvas, and then you are this one just disappears, and you actually have 2 projects going on at once, so make sure you click on that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in perspective. We're going to create a mock-up so that it looks like, if we printed this on the pizza box, it's actually going to look like we did it, just to show people. And so what you're going to do is you can shrink down anytime you're in here and you click on a layer. We've got the arrange or select button up here, and you'll notice that there's a blue halo around it. So that's how we know this one is selected. Now, if we want to actually fit this to the box in perspective, what we're actually going to do is make a transformation, and it's actually called a distortion. So now you can see these little corners have changed their round blue dots instead of those white boxes, and all I'm going to do is stretch this out to the box. So I'm just going to match up the corners and just try and be as precise as possible. You can make the image smaller on the box, bigger, however you'd like to do it. I'm going to leave a little space at the bottom for the name of the pizza box or the pizza company. And so I'm just going to keep everything parallel on the sides, the top and bottom. But then there we go. So we can see it. It's in perspective. It looks like it's on the actual box. And then once you try and do something else, it will prompt you to apply it, or you can click on this button right here to say apply, and then it sets it in place. And then there we go. It's stuck right there. We can still move it around if we want to, but it's not in the distortion mode. Now, the final thing you have to do is add some text. So your pizza box needs to have a company, and you get to make it up. And so you can go really blunt. I'm just going to make this one sleeping gorilla pizza, I think. You can come up with anything that you want, though. And when you are doing this, when you want to add some text, you're going to go over to this T, it's the text, and then you're just going to click on the image somewhere, and it will ask you if you want to add it. Perfect. So once you've added a text box like this, you're going to notice it's on its own layer, which is great, because then we can move it around separately. So I'm gonna go sleeping gorilla pizza. Perfect. Okay, so you can play around with the font. You can play around with the color. You can play around with the size, the format of it. There's lots of choices here. But again, if you just want to get a 3, you want to get this thing do the basic job, then this is all you need. Once you've got this set up the way you want it, then what you're going to have to do is actually convert the text into just a regular image layer. And so that's quite easy. All you have to do is go up to Layer. When you've got it selected, you can see the blue outline around my letters. And then I go Rasterize Layer. Bing. Now you can see it says Image underneath the sleeping gorilla. So that's perfect. That's what we want. And then I think you probably already guessed what we need to do now. We need to select it and then do that same distortion. Free distort, edit, free distort. And then now we can throw this onto the box as well. So again, just gonna match up those corners. It's really cool how it does the perspective for you. It kind of looks amazing. So on future projects, you might wanna have your text going in interesting directions or look like it's in space somewhere. But for this one, we wanna sit it nice and flat on that box, matching it up. And once again, when it looks good, you can just go apply. And the project is done. We've got our mockup. So finally, what we need to do to submit this is go to File, and then hit Export, and quick export page as PNG. Once you do that, it's going to ask you for a name and where you want to put it, and you can put that stuff in there and save it. I'm going to replace it because that's my photo, or you can give it a new name, of course. And then that appears on the desktop. So it's ready for you to submit to the assignments. Good luck.